You seen the damage reduction thing? Stop linking me League shit. Oh my god. Wait, is this guy obsessed with me? This is the guy that did the Max video? So let me see if I get this right. Destiny treats trans people like shit every chance he gets, but literally says I love you to a pedophile who rapes and abuses women and children. He really rapes and abuses people? Jesus, is that confirmed? Damn, this guy is really bothered by my I love yous. Oh man. I invite you to go back through all my tweets and replies to videos and say, unbelievably sure what I've been to Destiny since I joined this space. Then my Mr. Girl video dropped and his itty bitty balls shriveled up and he ran from the line in the sand and pretended not to see it. No, I've just been busy, my dude. Are you serious? Jesus. Did you see Brittany going full unhinged against Max? You guys are unhinged. I did a lot of thinking about this because I'm trying to figure out if I'm unhinged or you guys are unhinged, and it's hard when there's a lot of people that are unhinged and you think it might be you. I think you guys are unhinged. Like, people will, like, Brittany is a very super terminally online internet. I don't want to say that. She's like a very internet person, but like she'll say like random shit on stream or whatever. Like, you know, you guys go be black, go be white, go be Jewish, somewhere else, whatever. She'll say shit like it, and people be like, "Look at you guys. This is a perfect example of her being anti-Semitic wanted to murder Jews. She's like literally Goebbels." Like, oh my god, fucking chill. And the funny thing too is because like I try to like compare like takes. Like if Brittany had said this, or if Mr. Girl had said this, like I wonder how my community would respond. If here's like a statement that I'll make, and I don't expect you guys to agree on this. It's fine. In a year you'll see that I'm right. If Brittany had given the take on trans people that Mr. Girl consistently gives and defends, that would be like a 500 comment thread on my subreddit. 100%. It would be a 500 comments thread on my subreddit. But because Mr. Girl says it, and that's you guys kind of are like aligned with at the moment, you guys like basically, I think that was like a 20 comment thread that you guys let it slide. You don't really give a fuck about it. But I don't care. For people that are wondering why I talk to who I talk to, if I want to fuck them or I don't want to fuck them, there are plenty of people that I talk to that I want to fuck. There are plenty of people that I don't talk to on stream that I want to fuck. There are plenty of people that I talk to that I don't want to fuck. And there are plenty of people that I talk to off stream that I don't want to fuck. If you think that like all of my decisions are guided by the Coom or whatever, I mean like that's great. But the reality is that if you want like a far more simple way, because the thing is that like if you're trying to figure out like, well, who does he want to fuck, who does he want to fuck, you have to like do a lot of mental gymnastics to figure out like, well, why does he talk to Max? Why does he talk to Haas? Why did he go so far to talk to Vosh? Unless maybe you also think I wanted to fuck them, or maybe their moms. The reality is, I think one person got this right on my subreddit. I don't even think they got upvoted for it. I just talk to people that I think are really interested to talk to. Regardless of if you like them or hate them, Brittany is interesting. Mr. Girl is very interesting. Lauren is interesting. Fuentes is interesting. Haas, even though I fucking hate him, was also interesting. Those are the types of people that I'll keep around to chat with. If they're not like NPCs, if they're gonna give me some like, even if it's kind of off the wall or crazy shit, like fucking level 1 should be ejected from society. She hasn't said that, but I know you're right. Like, I'll talk to these people. I think it's interesting to talk to these people. That's as easy as it is to figure out like, that's as easy to figure out like who I'll talk to. But you know, hey, listen, if whatever makes you guys feel better about yourselves. Important Lauren and Brittany clip.
Cicero, what are your thoughts on Obama?
Oh no.
Obama?
Oh, they had this show last night, I think.
Obama. I mean, without knowing that much, I get the feeling that he's just still very much involved in the current administration. Yeah.
This is a dumb meme. You guys are dumb as fuck for doing these memes, okay? Abomination.
All right, we're just gonna move on. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil Ashton's newly found friendship with Destiny. He's also a creep. You also might be a little old for him. It's a pedo reference. Okay.
Good one, guys.
Ashton, talk to Destiny on stream, and can you ask Lauren why doesn't she want Ashton to speak with Destiny? What's
what?
That?
Oh, I think, no, we spoke once, and...
Wait, I don't want to watch this. Hold on. I'll be right back. 1 second. Hold on. We're gonna watch the Mr. Girl video. This is the one. Be back in a second.
I can deadlift 960 pounds and bench 700. Do I really need to post squat to get gym flair?
Ask your mom. Oh, I got that one, didn't I, guys? I got him. Props in chat. Thank you.
If you read the 14th Amendment literally, doesn't it suggest federally protected rights don't apply to the unborn?
Ashton only says you send memes to each other. That's all we do. We just meme a little bit. She seems like a cool person. God,
What do you mean you lost the baby? Go find it. Dun 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 dun.
What is this? Jesus
Chad,
Christ.
it's eating me. Let me scratch that spot. L L L L L L L L.
Okay, you're gonna start seeing me interact with a lot of people with whom I greatly disagree to dethrone the king of online liberalism.
Love you, Steve.
Who's the king of online liberalism? Is that me, or? If this guy wants to chat with me, you guys should tweet at him. He can hop on now if he wants to. Okay. What do you think of this impersonation?
Out now. See Doctor. Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, starring Dr. Morbius as the titular Doctor. Morbius. Out now in theaters with Jared Leto playing the Doctor. Morbius. Out now. Get tickets now.
Rest any mommy milkers, please.
Hey, how you doing? Name and badge number, please.
Oh, it's Destiny!
Name and badge number.
1099. Where's your ID, bro?
That's irrelevant. Have I committed a crime?
Yeah, you're trespassing. You're refusing to leave, man.
I'm on public property. This is a sidewalk.
Let me see your ID.
This is a sidewalk.
Let me see your ID. I need your ID or you're gonna go to jail.
This is a sidewalk. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, I need your ID.
Okay. Maybe that was.
Your ID or you're gonna go to jail.
I'm not gonna give you my ID. I have no reason to.
Put your arm behind your back.
I'm on the sidewalk, so I.
Is sidewalk considered public property or not? I'm not actually sure. Because, like, I know that when you own a house, you have to shovel your sidewalk. You can be held accountable if people slip and fall on it, but even though it's your private property. I don't know what the rule is. I'm not sure. Maybe you have, like, an easement with the city or something? I'm not sure. Okay. Was I in the middle of a mission?
Following video exploring the deep depravity of Max Carson, also known as Mr. Girl, contains extremely disturbing footage and imagery, including depictions of domestic abuse, sexual assault,
Oh my god.
exploitation of minors, bestiality, and more. The producer of this video does not endorse any of the views expressed or actions taken by Mr. Carson.
If you know anything about Max Carson, also known as Mr. Girl,
Okay.
it's probably the common belief that he's a pedophile. Or at least to this point,
Okay.
what some people may call a NOMAP, which is an acronym for non-offending minor attracted person. But unlike a lot of other videos looking at Max, that is not where this video is going to start. And that's because Max's favorite defense as of late to being labeled as a pedophile is that there's a difference between thoughts, fantasies, and actions. And because, while he speaks openly about his extremely disturbing thoughts and fantasies, there isn't any evidence yet that he would act on his most horrifying thoughts and fantasies.
Oh, cute.
But as you will see, that's not true.
Oh, not cute.
This entire video is very disturbing, but perhaps most disturbing of all is where we're going to start, which is not in Max's past or his theoretical future, but in the present moment where Max has proudly broadcasted for the world to see his horrifying and relentless abuse of his current girlfriend, Shaylin. And as disturbing as the next hour will be, I hope that you will sit through it, because the only way we can root out evil in our society is by facing it and witnessing it as it unfolds.
Jesus Christ.
I just don't have any money.
You don't have $100?
I won't have it if you want me to pay rent to you.
You have exactly enough money to pay rent, but not $100 more.
I don't have enough money to pay rent yet. I'm waiting on...
You're not answering my question.
Yes, I don't.
You will have exactly the right amount, but not $100 more.
I don't know, Max.
Hold on. Do. It's dumbass fucking. The Giga Chad song stuck in my head. Not good. Why is this not? Oh, there we go. Okay.
You know what? They're not here. Let's just take a look. Normally I would never violate someone's privacy like this, but desperate times call for desperate measures. I will fucking do whatever I have to survive. And I looked in her room.
Okay, hold on. Bench video. Where? Jesus. Wow, nice. You're a big boy. Good job. Everyone in chat is pogging for you right now. Okay.
And oh my god. This is how fucking explorers must feel when they find treasure.
Oh, I can use the... So I don't need to use the mic, I can use the other kind, right? I just don't think to use these, I don't know. You are often using them. What thing do you feel I'm not responding to?
Nothing. The reason I'm talking, you're not responding to me. You're not responding to the fucking point of what I'm saying.
Which is what?
Okay. Are you aware that I'm very angry at you, generally? And are you aware that it's your fucking arrogance, very angry at you, generally? And are you aware that it's your fucking arrogance and refusal to admit when you're struggling, bad at something, ask a question, or you don't know something that is, at least from my point of view, creating or partially creating a rift between us?
Jesus.
Yes, I do know that.
So you already know that.
Yeah.
And you aren't sure why I would bring up your stubbornness and arrogance right now. Do you think I'm just asking you about headphones and Bluetooth?
No, I can see why you're bringing it up, but I feel like you're inserting it into a conversation and without really knowing whether or not that's true, and I'm trying to answer
It doesn't matter if it's true. You don't know if it's true. You don't know why you've never used those headphones.
Yes.
So you can't say that it's true or not true. It's just something to discuss. It's an idea. It's a lens through which to view the conversation or view the conflict or view the interaction or whatever. But you refuse to look through that lens. And that's why I can't fucking stand you. Because I present a lens and you're like, well, I think if I look through that, I'll see something uncomfortable. I don't want to have to see what you're seeing, so I just won't. Even when I'm telling you, you're not thinking about it from my point of view and you're not listening to me. You still don't give a fuck. You're just miserable?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it makes me enraged when I'm trying to do work to help you with your channel.
Would you like to talk
And
about
I
the
feel
filibuster right now?
Like you
Bro, read the room.
and Jimmy are annoying and bossy, and then you are acting like it's inconvenient for me to ask you for help to pair them.
No, it's not inconvenient for me. It's inconvenient for you because you're fucking arrogant. I like showing you shit. I like showing you how to use shit. I like sharing my stuff with you.
I mean, you can say that, but what you actually said made it seem like it was inconveniencing you and that...
There she goes. They're leaving.
I know.
What do you mean what's going on?
I'm frustrated that we're like fighting and then you keep switching back and forth on whether or not you're filming.
Oh, she's coming back in. She's coming back in. Filming or fighting? I'm doing both.
I can see that.
Your question is going to be stupid.
How do you know? I haven't said it.
Because you don't have a fucking question about this. Just express your fucking feelings. Why don't you err on the side of caution? Why don't you think, well, since I'm probably feeling emotional about this, I'll fucking talk about that first, like we just fucking agreed.
Fine, I can talk about that first.
What do you think is more important? That you express your feelings and stop injecting them into your fucking retarded questions? Or that you have a mild intellectual curiosity that needs to be satisfied? I told you I'm going to go film a testing center, and your first question is if I'm trying to get tested for coronavirus. That's a stupid fucking question, and should tell you that what you need to do is talk about your feelings. Not ask more dumb fucking shit.
Right.
Would you like to fucking talk about that?
Yes.
Great.
Yes,
Let's. Do you think we should have a conversation about that?
Yes, Max.
You're being fucking awful to me.
I don't think that wearing a pair of shoes that's easy to put on is being awful to you.
You're a fucking idiot.
Okay.
What is happening?
That's not the part I'm talking about, you fucking moron.
What part are you talking about?
Fuck you.
Jesus.
The denial?
The being a fucking asshole part. The part where you are being a mean bitch.
Hi, where would you like me to put your items?
Just leave them there.
Leave them here?
Yeah.
Okay, and the last four numbers on your card?
I think
It's his card.
I left the card over there if you want to look at it. I think it's $1 and $10 for you.
No, we don't take tips here. Thank you, though.
Liz,
Yes, sir.
you have to take it.
I am not taking it.
Was I being mean the whole time or just since we got in the car?
I think you were being unkind and callous at first, especially given how much we've talked about how you are going to step up and stop acting like a fucking teenager.
Why is this quiet here?
No.
I do understand
sort
why.
of, but that's not why.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yes, it is. I understand that you have some other fucking retarded argument you want to make that has nothing to do with that. That's not why I'm screaming at you, you fucking asshole. That's not why I'm calling you a mean bitch. That's not why I'm saying you're being passive-aggressive like you always are. I'm saying that because you're being passive-aggressive like you always are. There's nothing you can say about your fucking boots that's gonna make me not feel that.
Right. I'm just trying to explain my point of view, but I can see that
I
it's
don't
not
fucking
helping.
care.
Yes.
I'm not once again, I'm not angry about your point of view. What I'm angry about is that you don't fucking care about my feelings and that you are mean. And when I call you out on it, you're like, yeah, you're right. I'm a stupid, worthless fucking moron. You're absolutely right, sweetie. Which is also patronizing and fucking annoying. Is that honestly what's in your fucking head? An endless parade of stammering, yeah. No.
Jesus
I
Christ.
see it. As soon as you think, oh God, the thing that Max thinks about the website is different from what I think.
It's not fucking retarded.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Whatever you're about to blame on me for your passive aggressiveness and your constant conflict avoidance, your constant desire to just be like, I'm not sure. No. You're a fucking coward.
I don't know if you're actually gaslighting me, but telling me that I'm stupid and then me second guessing whether or not that's true.
I don't know. What do you mean by what's your definition of gaslighting?
You telling me that I'm insane for thinking something, and then me questioning whether or not my experience is...
Well, you react to everything by questioning your experience to try to frantically align yourself with whatever anybody's telling you. So it's kind of impossible to not gaslight you. Gaslighting is when a woman questions herself. God fucking forbid. Gaslighting is when a woman questions herself and then can't come up with a fucking answer. And then she lets someone else answer for her and then doesn't take responsibility for that.
That's not true. You
And
just
then
hate
blames
women.
No, I also hate women, but that's not what we're talking about. When a woman blames a man...
No,
for
you constantly tell me that I'm gaslighting you, so that's just false.
The video fucking horrifies me. I hate it. I think just watching the video makes me just feel like everything is a horrible disaster and like I'm a huge failure and I just like hate it and it just makes me feel completely miserable. And my immediate reaction to it is like, this is bad, this is hurting you, this is hurting me. I can come up with reasons why it's hurting you.
The video
and
or
that
a
we should-
relationship?
The video.
Okay. And that we should what?
Stop.
Filming?
Yes. I want to cut myself out of the project entirely so that I don't have to deal with the pain of reliving it and like watching it and reading the comments. So I don't know, so I just have like a really bad reaction to it and I want to stop production. But then I also freak out because I don't know, like one of our problems that we've also established with me is that I have like no idea how to set any boundaries about it, so like I feel very conflicted about the idea of actually trying to figure out where the line is for us filming stuff. Whenever we're talking about something and then I am having a reaction to it that you feel is horrible, I'm having like I feel like what's happening is that I'm having like a trigger response and I'm like either my brain is like flooding and I just can't think straight because I'm having too much anxiety, or I'm like I just feel like my stutter is like a fucking PTSD thing and you're just making fun of me and it's fucking horrible. It's like, no, I'm not like trying to stutter just to piss you off, like fuck you. It's horrifying to me that you are making fun of my like PTSD response to what you're saying, and then you're like fucking like later watching the footage of yourself like berating me over my fucking like trigger response, and you're just like laughing and you're just like nah, and then like in the fucking comments people are like, Shaylin's a psycho, why would she put up with this? And it's like, well, I don't know why, it's fucking horrible.
So I was notified ahead of time of this. So he's posting these things in here to make it look like Shaylin or somebody else has filed these like FBI reports on him. But apparently this guy himself was the one that called the cops to do like a wellness check, basically. So there is no like, there wasn't like a record of like a domestic violence incident or anything. Like this guy that made this video is the one that called the cops. But I guess he decided to throw this in here for dramatic effect and not really clarify that. But
It's fucking ridiculous and stupid, and like, it's horrible for me because like I already feel bad about it. Like, why would you fucking do that? I mean, I know why because you've explained it to me, but it's fucking horrible.
What are we talking about right now?
Huh?
What are we talking about? How do you feel bad watching me berate you for stuttering?
Yes. And just fucking enduring it right now. Well, not now, but before. You're not helping, you're just making it worse.
That's not true. I think that the problem is for both of us, but definitely also for you. As in this conversation, you put yourself in a role. It's not that I'm making fun of you for having an offering to take care of PTSD. When you really need to be taking stress. Think about that, because you don't know what you're feeling and when you need to talk about your feelings.
apparently this is what Max's
Well, fuck
original
you.
editing was. I don't know why.
It's either that or like, ah, why are you so abusive? Just be yourself.
Never said that.
Maybe you should.
No, you would get too mad. I'm still doing it. Sorry.
Your fake jokey shit isn't funny. You are genuinely funny sometimes.
Really?
But when the camera's on, you're just like uber cringe. Let's go. Okay, new rule. If you don't want to talk to me, shut up.
Wait, has Max ever made any comments about my personal life? I feel uncomfortable commenting now because I don't want to like, I want to comment on what I'm seeing, but I can't. But it feels weird. I mean, I feel like I'm watching a video. Okay, so I'll preface this a million times over and say that, like, I don't know the full context of these conversations, and there are conceivable worlds where what we're watching isn't really as bad as it seems, depending on what's been cut out. It kind of depends, maybe. It's possible. I'll say that. I'll say that with anything where I'm not seeing the full context, especially when this is like, cut together like this, you know. One thing that this kind of looks like, fuck, this is gonna sound really harsh. Let's shift gears, okay? I'll give advice if you want to be an abusive person. If you tear somebody down enough and you have a strong enough personality or you have a relationship with that person where they look up to you, you tear somebody down enough, but then afterwards you kind of like throw them a rope to let you know that like you still love them and it's okay and everything. It's a really good way to simultaneously destroy a person, but never have the person think negatively of you for it, and then constantly coming back to you at the end, if that makes sense. So there's like a lot of weird things where like you can just tear into a person and then you throw them a rope and they get into this like weird unhealthy. Now I don't know if that's what's going on here because I don't have like the full context of everything, but it kind of seems like that's what it looks like. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. But I read this on page 89 of Destiny's Sociopath Manual. True. This feels like an experiment Max and Jeff are producing all this fighting in 1 month in March. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if this is like part of a video series they're doing or something like. Isn't that love bombing? Actually, unironically, yeah, a little bit. But like, let's say that I'm dating a girl who like is in love with me and she looks up to me. Like, I could tear down like everything about this girl. Like, you're filthy. Like, you don't clean up well enough. Like, you're a loser, nobody likes you, like, stop crying, why are you so weak, why are you such a fucking loser? And because of the position, because of the dynamic of the relationship, when I attack the other person, the attacks, it doesn't feel like, oh, this guy hates me. It feels like, oh, I'm like a worthless person, and this guy's pointing it out. He's just making me aware of how horrible I am. And when he throws me a bone at the end, when he like throws me over the end, like, oh, but at least he still loves me and like he can guide me and help me through this. Yeah, I don't know how. It's a strange dynamic, and on the outside it seems silly because like, well, why would you stay with somebody that makes you feel bad? But that person's interpretation of the event is not like this person is making me feel bad. It's that I feel bad and this person is pointing out why I should feel bad. Essentially, like that. This is like a sort of like abusive relationship dynamic. But I'll be clear. I'll say again, I don't know if that's 100% what's going on here because I don't have like all the context behind these clips, and it's possible that like maybe there's something that changes it or that's different or whatever. But I will say, if these videos were Brittany treating a boyfriend like this, though, chat would have a way different take on it. But
I don't want to talk to you.
Then stop talking to me.
Can you speak about your personal experiences instead of fumbling around in hypotheticals? First of all, no, because I don't think I've ever done this to anybody before. And secondly, no, I think the hypothetical is fine. I think what I'm saying is pretty clear. Wait, does everybody understand what I just said, or do you not understand what I just said?
Shaylin.
What?
That'll work you?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you're lucky.
Stop.
Filming?
Yes.
Really? I know you want me to feel guilty.
And if Lauren said what Brittany said about Jews, it would be a massive threat as well. Honestly, I don't think so. Because that Brittany thread was like 500 plus comments. If Lauren made a joke about Jewish people, I don't know if you guys would even care that much. I think you guys actually hate Brittany more than fucking Lauren. That thread on my subreddit, guys, was literally 500 plus comments. That was a huge thread. If Lauren made a joke like that, I think it'd be like 100 comments of like, oh, I always knew she was a Nazi, et cetera, et cetera. And then like that would be it. Nobody would care that much. But but because it was Brittany, it was literally like 5. You guys are saying I'm being deranged? I'm pretty sure that's like one of the biggest comment. Yeah, you guys already expect Lauren to be a Nazi. How many comments did this thread get up to? It was 500 when I saw. Can anybody find this thread on my subreddit? Controversial, huh? Fuck. $580 comments. That's a big thread for my subreddit. $580 comments. Jesus. Okay. Brittany Simon is Max is not working class. You guys made so many threads on it. Oh, Max is not working class because of Jewish affluence. 350 comments. You guys, seriously, you guys weren't as obsessed. I don't know if you were as obsessed with Lauren as this. I don't think you guys were. I think Brittany is the new obsession. Jesus. I'll message Lauren and tell her to say some anti-Semitic shit, and I'll see where the threads pop up at if it's as big. Okay.
I don't think guilt is that useful. I hit you. It hurt you. Oops. I grabbed her wrist. She screamed for me to stop. And then, after that first time, a few weeks later, I grabbed her arms because she wasn't listening to me or something. And I grabbed them really hard, and afterwards she showed me bruises on her arms. A little bit after that, I just said, okay.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Even your Lauren threads are actually hyperinflated. I have to keep in mind that there's going to be like a white blonde girl inflation factor coefficient on like all of the threads, because like 30 to 40% of every comment is actually, it's not even about what she said, it's just you guys arguing about whether or not you're supposed to call her hot. That's true. So I have to take into account the blonde white girl coefficient for the threads as well to see how many comments there truly are. That's actually true. Okay.
That was so loud that the neighbors are gonna call the cops. And before they get here, I need you to put on a long sleeve shirt so they don't see the bruises on your arms. Because if they do, I'm gonna spend the night in jail, 100%. And one thing people don't talk about a lot is that a violent outburst like that can be a unifying event for a couple. One time I broke my ex's laptop, and you get to sort of join forces against the you that just snapped.
Jesus, I had a because I just can't help myself to get triggered. I had an argument with Anna about this. I have to do more research into this because I actually can't believe it. Anna was saying something about how like domestic violence is actually kind of common. And I was like, when it comes to like physical stuff, I usually draw hard lines. Like I would say that like if you experience this one time, I think you should walk out because it's like there's just no reason. But apparently there's something called CDV, common domestic violence, and apparently it's experienced in up to 50% of relationships. That's insane to me. Fuck, hold on, I'm trying to see if I can find this. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to find this link. God damn it. Maybe I just Googled it. What does it entail? Well, I think it included things like throwing things, which I don't think I would tell somebody that's a hard out. That like if somebody throws something, then it's, I don't like it, but like it's probably okay, or it's not okay, but like it's not like you have to leave. But yeah, or like slamming a door. I think that the definition included things like that. So if that's making up the bulk of it, it's not as big a deal. But jeez. I could throw an object at your head that'd kill you? Well, it would be extremely painful. Previously spoke about this regarding police force members. However, it's based off similar quantifiers of domestic violence for shouting, such aggressive hand actions, such slamming things when included. Oh, yeah, that might have been the case, but no. Destiny, how is what Max fighting with his ex abusive? You literally have similar videos of arguing with Melina. Like these videos? I don't think so. I'm trying to think if I do. The meanest that I'll get is the times when I'm the meanest are if somebody is really pushing me on something and I don't want to talk right now, I'll probably start getting mean. That's usually what'll happen. But Melina's usually mean first, okay, so. But I don't know if any of our conversations have risen to the level of like abuse. Like the most abusive things that I'll say, because like, so, fuck, this is kind of weird and a little toxic. I'm never interested in like tearing other people down because I'm not interested in dating a person like that. Like if I can tear you down, I wouldn't want to like date you anyway. Usually the meanest things I'll say to somebody is like, if you don't like it, then fucking leave. Or like I'll be like, okay, well, hey, I can buy you tickets back to Stockholm. If you want to leave tomorrow, you pack your shit and get the fuck out. Like that's usually like the meanest kind of stuff. I think that's like the meanest stuff I'll say generally. But like I'm not here to be like something that has like never vibed with me. And this is true of like every girl I've hooked up with or anybody I've talked to. When it comes to like talking about my partners or treating my partners, I would never devalue my partner because I always feel like that reflects personally on me. Like if I'm like with Melina or whatever and I'm saying shit like, oh, like you're a worthless stupid cunt. Like I'm literally insulting myself, right? Like why the fuck would I date somebody if I'm gonna devalue the person? Like why would I waste my time? Like that makes me a dumb fuck. Or even like if I'm talking to other people about my partner, even if I'm like venting about Melina, like if I'm talking to somebody about my partner, if I'm saying like, oh, like Melina's something dumb, I usually give like a lot of caveats. Like I'm a hard person to date. I kind of provoke this stuff. Like it's a lot for her to deal with. She's 10 years younger than me, which is a huge thing. People that shit talk their partners are insane to me because you're shit talking yourself. Like, your partner is arguably one of the most important choices, and it is a choice that you're making in life. So when you're sitting there devaluing a partner, all you're telling me is that you make really bad decisions and you stick with them. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, I don't know. I think that always drives me crazy. Like, I mean, like, with understandable exceptions. If you're like in an abusive relationship or something like that, then obviously it's a little bit different. But like, you know. I recall her saying that you call her autistic and retarded. Yeah, but I think that telling her to go back to Sweden is worse. We both call each other autistic sometimes because we both view the world in way different ways. There are times, if I'm calling her autistic, though, it's not because I'm insulting her. It's because she's genuinely being fucking autistic. And then there are times when she calls me autistic. I'm probably being genuinely autistic as well. But hey, you know what? What's life without a little bit of autism in your relationship, you know? Hey, you. Oh, Striker, just got here and saw you brought up the dinner. That is 10,000% my perspective. All it takes is seeing a few normal trans people and social interactions to make you realize, wait, this person was completely normal. Yeah, sure. Okay.
And you're like, whoa, that was crazy. Wow, I really went insane there. Wow, we're on a team against that evil part of me. And then you get to apologize, and apologizing is fun. And I'll never forget my ex looking at me and calmly saying to me, why are you punching me in the face? It was a good question.
A lot of this feels like a little bit quote mined, and like obviously Max says shit like hyper inflammatorily. So like I don't know. It feels kind of lame to like cut together like 50 clips like this. At Destiny, bro, you weaponize money and having a place to live. It's a form of abuse. It's essentially letting her know you hold the strings. That is absolutely not true, and you have absolutely no fucking idea what the fuck you're talking about. I've never held my money or place to live over anybody my entire fucking life. Like, there was a person that I broke up with, and I let her live with me for like 2 years afterwards, like figuring out her stuff. Like, I've never done that in my entire life. And Melina has plenty of money to fly back if she wants. She's not held hostage by me, and she doesn't give a fuck about America. Sorry, but nobody outside of this country gives a fuck about moving here, unless you're like some poor, like people in Europe don't give a fuck about moving here. So it's not like she needs me for the visa or some shit. Like, yeah, I don't, like, Melina makes plenty of money. She's fine. I'm not holding her hostage here.
I'll add for the sake of honesty, I did punch her in the face. So in my case, hitting women over the next several years from that point on, when I first came out as an abusive piece of shit woman batterer to my family,
Jesus Christ,
I told my father, listen, every time we come visit you, we end up getting into some physical altercation at your house after you go to sleep. When we go back to our room, we're basically fist fighting.
Are you going to record your fights and put them on the internet so we can judge them like Max did? Or are you going to keep watching this hit piece with no hint of self-reflection? I have no idea what you're talking about, but you were in the wrong stream, my dude. Okay.
For like an hour every time we come visit you. Because you're so demeaning to me, and you mock me, and you treat me like a fucking loser in front of her. And she doesn't want to see me that way, and I don't want her to see me that way. And I don't stand up to you, and it's humiliating, and it makes me hate her because she's watching it. So I need you to stop doing that. Eventually I realized, like, I basically have to choose. So I left my family. Now the relationship fell apart later anyways, but I had to leave because I could see what kind of person it was turning me into. It's a complicated problem because if you're at the point where you're being violent with the person who you supposedly love the most, it probably means that your whole life is fucked up. Step 4, fuck your guilt. I know you want me to feel guilty. I don't think guilt is that useful, obviously. I just don't think you have as much control over yourself as most people seem to think they do. And I think that it takes two to tango. It's usually part of a complex dynamic that both people are feeding into. It's too complicated to blame on just one person or assign the fault to just one person. I will also add that one thing that confounds all of this is that I have definitely noticed some arousal in women after being violent towards them, it makes it pretty hard to break the cycle.
Something that's interesting that Max points out here is some of his behavior that he talks about is actually kind of similar to what he accuses Dr. K of, and what I kind of agree Dr. K does. From page 127 of the Psychopathic Manipulator textbook, if you can evoke an incredibly emotional experience in someone, negative or positive, and then offer them some form of restitution or some form of solace or compassion afterwards, like, it almost always is an incredibly good feeling, like a very euphoric feeling. This is like the abusive, like, yo-yoing that people will get caught in. Somebody's abusive, they get upset at each other, there's a lot of love at the end, and like this cycle is incredibly addicting. This like tension and release. And he's very critical of Dr. K for it. It's kind of funny because I don't know if he realized it, but he's like referencing kind of like that similar type of thing right here.
I don't want to deal with all your anger of previous men you've known, although you are definitely going to have to deal with all my anger of previous women I've known, but you don't have to deal with it like right away.
Why do you keep asking me to link the Chad music video? Can't you find it on your own? Oh, you're a schizo.
Hi, horses. So, why is it okay to hate women? Well, hate is an emotion, and I don't think emotions can be controlled. People always say, oh, don't you have a mother? Well, yes, I have a mother, and 2 stepmothers, and they're all heartless vipers who cut my balls off when I was 13. I just think maybe if I'd been allowed to express myself openly, I wouldn't have a black ocean of vitriol towards women.
Real estate is just so specifically incredibly interesting because of the like, there's just, it's hard to find negatives with real estate. There's really only one that I can see, in that it's not as liquid as stocks or any other asset. Meaning, if you need to get out of an apartment building or something tomorrow, it's really not the type of thing you can do tomorrow.
Also, lack of diversification is a big one as well.
Yeah, for instance, like if you're in stocks, I suppose you could be in like 20 different stocks. But I wonder if something crazy happens, like if there's a war or something, I wonder if you're kind of getting, like, are you going down across the board anyways, even in diversification of stocks, right, for that type of event?
You go down across the board, but like, say like for real estate, let's say there's like a huge flood or some crazy shit in Miami, right? Like, as an asset class, housing might be doing fine, but like your individual property might be fucked.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, like, that's why you'd usually consider real estate an alternative asset class, right? Because the beta with the, like, your correlation with the broader stock market is going to be somewhat significant, but it's not going to be as high as like actual equity or bond assets. So you get like a slightly different return profile than like you would on a stock if there's a war going on or whatever.
Sure.
But Dan, like, I know from like, I totally agree, like from your personal perspective and like your talents and the experience you have in real estate obviously like makes sense from like a monetary perspective, but like what about just from like an interest perspective? Like, I don't know, maybe it's just I'm projecting, but I feel like, I mean, maybe isn't there like maybe more engaging investing activities to do than like looking at properties all day?
You can just have a really pretty big impact, I think, with real estate that you can't have with anything else. Like,
no, he's talking about like something that's like mentally stimulating for you. It's like doing like equity into a business and then like making a decision for a business is more exciting than like doing real estate. So
like a really popular site for doing this is you can look at buying like internet websites, and you can look at buying real businesses. Like a popular one is Biz Buy Sell. There's,
you know, we need to do, Dan. We need to do Dragon's Den for DGG.
Yeah, I think it would be fun, actually. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I don't know. I just, there's a bunch of sites. There's Flippa, Empire Flippers or something like that. But it's an interesting thing, but I find that the amount that you can buy a property for doesn't really adjust for the risk. So like when you buy real estate, you know, you're buying at a 5 cap, but if you're buying like a website, you're buying at like a 30 cap, but there's nothing. Like if that website goes away in a year, you're just left with nothing as opposed to real estate.
Yeah, for housing, there's at least some underlying asset. Like it's like the difference between buying a
property value.
Yeah, it's like the difference between like buying a stock versus like investing in like a shitcoin for crypto. Like it's pretty rare that if you're investing in major stocks that the company's gonna go to zero. Whereas like for crypto, maybe maybe you actually lose 100% of your investment.
The actual real risk of going to zero, yeah, and on property or to the land, like the minimum land value. I don't know. I guess at like a certain wealth level, I'm not there yet, so I guess I can only like speculate. But I feel like you wouldn't be as interested in just like, oh, like, well, there's like no risk in this investment. You'd be more interested in like, oh, like, well, what can like this do? Like,
yeah, but it sounds like at that
like
point you're not really talking about like levels of wealth and like investments. You're talking more like, would you be interested in this as like a second job kind of? No.
Yeah, and that's true. And if you're not, then I guess the answer would be obviously no. Why did you never like commercialize the like DGG infrastructure? You open sourced it, but I feel like
we tried. But I don't want to listen. All right, we're going on to the next fucking caller. I appreciate you stopping by.
I think about this every day, Destiny. You need to fix that shit. All right.
Okay, I mean, like it's just the problem is there's a couple of hard questions, and then the problem is like getting people to like package it all up, and like it seems like there's always like people aren't happy with the infrastructure that exists right now for some parts of the site. So yeah, I don't know. But, yeah.
Really? Okay. Well, rip. All right. Have a nice day, guys.
Obama.
Okay, next. No Feist.
What? Is it possible? Sorry, what?
Hi. So, I guess I'll update myself on, or update you guys on the, what's it called? The advice call that I went on a few months ago, like in February or something.
Oh boy.
So, yeah. You know what? I'm doing pretty well. I did pretty well in this semester. I got B's on everything. My GPA is no longer shit. So, fuck up over. Anyways. So yeah, that stuff's been pretty chillin', and what did I want to ask? Dude, I forgot what I was gonna ask because I didn't think I was gonna get on a lot sooner. Fuck.
Festering in my heart. Wow. That's not how it went. Oh, but you can't ever hit.
Congratulations on your grades.
But they can hit you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he listens to me, by which I mean he agrees with me.
I didn't expect to get on a lot sooner. Well, shit.
Don't worry, Dan. I'll bring you back in a minute. Write down what you wanted to say, okay? So you won't forget.